Back in Las Vegas, the World of Westgate 200, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's playoff race number 2 for the Gander trucks, and time to break it down with the Gander RV and Outdoors track description.
Yeah, it's a 1.5 miles in length, but I think the key to this racetrack, Vince, and why we see so much crazy racing is that variable banking in the corners. That means these guys can run from the top of this track to the bottom, lots of grip. Well, I say lots of grip. I just talked to a crew chief. He said track temperature 102, so it's going to be hot and slippery when we start this race. We'll break this race down for you. It's 134 laps, 200 miles. You can see a couple of 30-lap stages early. Pit window could be key. We have a competition caution in this race, so whether we go all the way to the second stage, we can see varying strategies. I love when we have differing strategies. We'll see how that plays out. Austin Hill won this race last fall.
You see the starting lineup, bottom of the screen, and on the front row, a couple of GMS racing teammates, Brett Moffitt and Tyler Ankrum.
I'm interested in watching these Smith boys. Chandler in 5th, Zane in 7th or 8th. They'll both be really fast.
And I think Sheldon Creed will be one to keep an eye on as well. Let's get more on him from Alan.
Yeah, we have to think of Sheldon Creed as a championship contender, has all the tools to go out there and win tonight. What they cannot have are mistakes. Twice lately, Sheldon Creed has been in near the lead or the leading races and come in and sped on pit road. I talked to his team today, his crew chief Jeff Stankiewicz, and said those are the only things that can take us out of contention for a championship. We have to avoid those mistakes and focus on getting the victories and getting all the way to Phoenix. Some other late breaking news from the garage. Natalie Decker will not start this race. She will not race. You can see the 44 truck being pushed to the garage. Our own Bob Pockers reporting that NASCAR has said she is not medically cleared to race. She will be credited with last place finish tonight. We should have more on the story as the race progresses, guys.
Thank you, Alan, and wish our best to Natalie and getting well soon. As you look at the GMS numbers, 7 wins, Chase Elliott, Zane Smith, Sheldon Creed, Sam Mayer last week at Bristol, but none for the guy that's the leader of the team, Brett Moffitt.
But I think we can just slide him on over to the right after tonight, Vince. This truck has been so close to getting to victory lane, and you can see consistency has Brett at the top of the playoff standings. Remember, just a year ago, Matt Crafton was a champion. Kurt, he never went to victory lane either.
He never won a race throughout the year. Let's see. Moffitt's got a good chance tonight.
Yeah, he's the he may not have won a race yet, but he is the championship leader.
Let's check in with our friend Travis Pastrana. Hey, Travis. Travis, can you hear me? It's Michael Waltrip. Kurt Busch and the boys in the booth. Do you copy?
Hey, Michael, how you doing, buddy?
Well, I got to tell you, every time I see Travis Pastrana is going to be in the race, it brings a big smile to my face. I'm going to be interested to follow you and your friend Connor Daly. I know you've done some crazy stuff. You got a friendly wager. It involves a dollar bill and a helmet. Have fun tonight. Are you looking forward to your first start in quite a while in a truck?
I am looking forward to my first start a little bit. I usually jump in about every other year. By the time I finish the race, I feel like I'm just starting to get the hang of it again. And Connor Daly, all the guys at iRacing, they said, hey, let's take this virtual battle you guys have been having, let's bring it to the real world. And man, I'm just always smiling when I get a chance to do this, guys. So hopefully I'll give you something to talk about and we can get up a little bit towards the front. Connor actually has better odds right now than I do, so hopefully we can prove that wrong.
Well, hopefully the truck works better than his radio throughout the course of the night. Here's how they announced that they were going to actually do this. Connor Daly there driving the 42, and of course Travis, who we just talked to, in the 45 truck, both for Nice Motorsports. Tonight, nope, Connor's not run a single lap in a NASCAR truck. First one's ever going to be tonight. How challenging is that going to be? Never before in a full-body vehicle. One Xfinity Series race, but never in a truck.
Yeah, Connor Daly's got the odds stacked against him, but I love his enthusiasm, the courage, and just the battle back and forth that he's gonna have with Pastrana. They got the same sponsor, same look on their truck. This is a genuine dollar bill bet that's going to be in a picture frame afterwards. Huge task.
Yeah, very cool. iRacing, they got an iRacing group together called the Last Chance Qualifiers, and through that they decided, maybe we can make this thing a real life deal, and Travis Pastrana and Connor Daly going to make it roll tonight, thanks to the folks at iRacing, Steve Myers and Otto Zabini, who helped put it together. Well, the Gander Trucks playoff race number 2, it is green at Las Vegas with Brett Moffitt and Tyler Ankrum on the front row.
Matt Crafton nearly into the outside wall. Look at all those positions he's losing, Kurt. He nearly bit the wall off turn 2.
Why we were silent is because we wanted everybody to absorb the restart, the start of a race at Vegas, and how it's 5 wide. There's no way we can keep up with the action verbally. We just wanted you to digest that with the video on the TV screen. What a great start for a lot of guys. Crafton, though, got pinched off turn 2.
Yeah, Sheldon Creed gave a great push to Moffitt out front and now runs second as you ride along in there briefly with Ben Rhodes, and you see the mayhem on the backstretch as everybody's trying to gain their position.
What about Sheldon Creed to the front? Moffitt picked the outside. It worked. He got a great start, but Sheldon is able to drive around him, and look, gapping him. You see a truck that fast this early, it's going to be interesting as the track cools down, sun sets. These drivers will have to experience different conditions in this racetrack.
Watch the 88 of Matt Crafton there at the start, and did get pinched there by Creed a bit and had to get out of it, and when he did, he lost a lot of track position.
Yeah, when he went to go jump up right here, he hesitated slightly, and he gave Creed the opportunity to block him, and man, it just changed the game and the whole outlook for Crafton for tonight, just off that one hesitation.
And just think about Ben Rhodes. If he wasn't on top of his game, he would have plowed into Crafton, so Matt's lost some ground. That was a block that you will see all night long. These truckers know that you have to slow people's momentum. They draft so well. You get in a bind, you're going to block, you're going to try to protect your position. That was a nice move by Creed, but I bet you Matt Crafton didn't think it was that good.
He's all fired up about it. Got Chandler Smith looking to the low side in 3, and it's tough to pass on the inside because that outside truck is going to stick right on your right rear, and he's going to side draft him all the way down the front straightaway, and he's going to gain help from Zane behind him. So 51, he's going to kind of get bottled up here on the bottom.
Oh, problem for Rafael Lassard already in that 4 truck. You see right side contact and damage, and he is headed to pit road. Vegas has not been good to Rafael Lassard. He was 30th here in February with a damaged truck.
That's a tough break. There's a lot of damage on there, Mikey. Right front flat, right side's flattened. Not good.
We'll have to pull those fenders out, put new tires on it, and see if the suspension is damaged. If there is any right front suspension damage, he could recover. It's so early in the race. If you're going to mess up, Vince, it's best to do it right off the bat so you got time to recover. But I don't think I just send him back out there and pull on those fenders.
Yeah, you got to get it clearanced out. Hopefully he doesn't have a tire rub afterwards.
There will be a competition caution at lap 10. You see we're just 6 laps in. Our playoff drivers highlighted in yellow on the pylon left-hand side of the screen. Riding along with one of those drivers, Ben Rhodes, currently runs 9th.
I like the looks of that 15 truck of Tanner Gray. You can see him peeking to the bottom there, Kurt. When you're able to stick your truck up below another guy, there's more grip. You get more air on your nose. Also like what Gray's doing there. Doesn't want to just follow the truck ahead of him. Move around, find some fresh air, and you can see he's got a fast forward.
He's applying like the Truex line you would see in the Cup Series, where you enter a little bit high, not necessarily sweat the white line early, and then just bring it down later in the corner to get that straighter run off of corner exit. So he's done a good job. And one thing I'm really proud of this whole group is Vegas is one of the toughest tracks to start a race. The track is dirty, the track is filthy, all that dust and dirt. It's just, man, it's like just how I like my martini though. I like it filthy.
What about Connor Daly? What a start to the race it is for this guy. We talked about it. He's never been behind the wheel of a truck, and he's charged up, made some positions up. He's leaving his buddy Travis Pastrana behind.
I talked to Connor today and asked him about his chief concerns, and he said, well, I don't really know what I don't know. And he said, just get the first couple of laps going to be the biggest learning experience for me because I just have no idea what to expect.
Well, he's a quick learner, I'll tell you that. Racing up inside the top 20. What a good start to the race it is.
Here's Ben Rhodes in the 99, former winner here at Las Vegas, and Todd Gilliland running just inside the top 10. Gilliland in that 38 truck you see just ahead of Rhodes. Those two have been exchanging positions back and forth. Being told that the 33 of Jesse Iwuji has had to go to pit road as well because of radio failure. They have no radio communication between team and driver. So he's had to go to pit road to get that addressed. Sheldon Creed continues to lead. Moffitt took the lead at the start. Creed grabbed that advantage on lap 2. and has held it since.
Looks like Gillen's trying to hang on here and get to the competition yellow. The truck isn't quite handling the way he wants, and the guys are starting to stack up behind him. And a place like Vegas, when they start stacking up, they can team up and draft right on by you.
And there is the caution out for the competition caution.
This would be a good reset. You know, everybody can catch their breath a little bit. You've seen what trucks are moving forward, which ones are off the pace a little bit. And now it's a time to kind of reset, get balanced out here for stage 1.
Kurt, some might ask, hey, it's lap 10. Is that early for competition caution? How would you assess where you select, what lap number you select that competition caution?
It seems very early, but there's only a certain amount of laps in this stage. And so I don't know how NASCAR does it exactly. I would say a percentage of the laps that are in a stage. They just really want to err on the safe side and make sure that everybody can get their tires checked if they so choose to change them. Also splitter height and just genuine truck balance. But yeah, it's a little early for lap 10, but this will change it up on who wants to add fuel and do other things.
And we talked at the opening. This is a strategy move here. If you want to make sure that your tires are wearing well and you want to focus on winning the second stage, maybe you pit right here, Vince, and you get your tires and you make sure everything's okay. But if you got to understand, and Kurt, you know this better than anyone, every stage point is crucial. You might just need that 1 point to make it to the next round. If you pit right here, especially if you're Sheldon Creed, as fast as he is, I think I stay out if I'm the front runners, but if I'm back outside the top 10, I come to pit road.
Yeah, it's all about playing the points game and adding up those stage points, and if you're closer to the bubble, you're more so leaning towards pitting.
There's been some concern about potential left front tire wear that some of the teams are a little more concerned about than others, so we'll see if that has any hand in the play here as well, as you see the takers on this competition caution led by Ben Rhodes.
That's about how it went down. If you're up in the top 10, you like your truck, you're going to stay out. These guys back outside the top 10, pit, get some tires, and try to charge through the field, get to the front.
How about these Thor Sport trucks, Alan?
And on the left of your screen, Matt Crafton, we saw him drop back at the beginning of this race, so they're coming in to make an adjustment. That truck you're looking at, that won the Kansas race, so they have a lot of hopes for this race tonight. On the right of your screen, Ben Rhodes, he just said he was tight off both corners, both off corner 2 and corner 4, so they got to make an adjustment there. 4 tires for the 99.
Yeah, Rhodes was the top running truck that pitted from the 9th position. So as you guys talked about, if you're inside that top 10, you're probably wanting to stay out. Rhodes decided he wanted to come get the adjustments.
And if you're Connor Daly and Travis Pastrana, you just want to get a chance to get on pit road and catch your breath. These guys don't get to do this very often. And I said Daly was pacing ahead of Pastrana. That actually wasn't correct. Pastrana had covered Daly in that first 10-lap run, but they're running right together.
You see Matt Crafton in that neon yellow 88, and Crafton lost some positions right off the start, as we already showed you with that replay early on. But this has not been Matt's most memorable racetrack. He has run here a lot, but 3 times the bridesmaid. You know, you come to Vegas, you're supposed to be the bride, right? And maybe at least once.
2009, 2011.
But he got champagne. How'd he get champagne?
Oh, the garter on the head.
Oh, no.
Elvis probably tossed it at him.
That is not a good look for our buddy Matt.
3 times. Got to change that around there, buddy.
I think I just have a lot of momentum, a lot of energy for Matt Crafton in these playoffs. Here's the choose zone. You can see you can go high or low.
Is there a preferred lane in your opinion here?
Majority of the time you're going to be on the outside, but then you always have in your mind, just go to where you can get the next position forward. But outside is going to be preferred.
What's Ben Rhodes back on pit road for? This is a setback for one of our playoff contenders.
Yeah, Ben Rhodes had already come to get service.
He's got some smoke.
Coming back again.
Yes.
Yeah, let's listen in. Radio from the 99 camp.
Yeah, I smell oil. I smell oil. I told y'all this thing is...
All right, we'll look at it, man. Calm down. We'll take a look at it.
I don't like when people tell me to calm down when I'm a race car driver. I got issues. I'm trying to explain it to you. Hopefully the team can figure that out. Is that some oil on the road there? Alan, it looked like there was some oil on pit road when he left.
Yeah, Mikey, and they confirmed that there's a lot of oil under there. They didn't want to lift the hood. They were afraid of losing too much time if there wasn't an issue, so they're trying to figure out what to do now that they've confirmed all that oil under there. They don't know exactly what the issue is. They're trying to save time, at least, on that pit stop.
You know, we talked at the beginning of the night, this is the kind of race you don't want to, you don't want to beat yourself. You don't want to take yourself out of championship contention with a horrible result tonight. He's one of those drivers, 7th in the standings coming in.
I remember watching on Fox Sports 1 last year that there was a lot of engine trouble from the crate engines at Vegas, and it changed the whole complexion of the playoffs. So hopefully they can get that problem solved, but I don't know. We'll see. We got to restart here, boys. See how this shakes out.
Back to green after the competition caution was Sheldon Creed in the 2 truck. His teammate Brett Moffitt on the inside in the 23.
Somewhat uniform, way more so than I thought it would be.
They're going to come out of their uniforms when they get over here to turn 2. They're going to spread all over this place.
It'll be a big run of momentum on the top side. That's where all of the aero and the draft is bigger up there because the inside breaks apart.
Oh, tight squeeze into the corner. Brett's doing a nice job hugging the bottom, but I think Sheldon Creed, certainly with the conditions we're having right now, has got the best truck so far. When you're out front, certainly helps, but what a fast start to the race it is for Creed.
Well, we've seen Creed get a couple of good starts that start at the beginning of the race and then on this restart as well. And the restarts have been an area that has received a lot of attention from Sheldon Creed and his crew chief, Jeff Stankiewicz, needing to improve those restarts to improve his chances of winning races. And he's done it, especially here in the second half of this season.
Look at that tight racing. Really close. Matt Crafton, you can see, using that variable banking up on the top to try to make some ground. Chandler Smith in the 51 inside of Eckes. That's going to, does that open the door for Tanner Gray to make it 3 wide?
Yeah, last lap Tanner Gray was trying to dig on the bottom. Now he's up top with Eckes, and he'll definitely have a better draft down the straightaway. And like I said, Crafton digging on the top side, trying to get those positions back.
Right behind Tanner Gray is that 16 truck of Austin Hill, the regular season champion.
And sideways. He saved it.
Wow. How about that? Chandler Smith gathering it up.
I got to tell you, a couple of playoff guys about had a heart attack there with that big slide by Smith in the 51. What a great save that is. And Kurt, you know this, when you're a rookie, when you're a kid, you're going to have those slides. And when you save them, you learn. It makes you a better racer. You learn without paying the price of a crashed truck.
You're exactly right. He's glad he saved it. It's Kyle Busch Motorsports. Kyle been pretty upset with that one, but that was a huge save. And yes, you get to get more laps under your belt for the rest of the race. But man, it just creates this huge logjam back here. Look at all this action. These guys are just all trying to figure out where that huge momentum loss came from. And as guys are battling down on the apron, rubbing, got a lap truck mixed in. This is getting good. 12
Ben
to
Rhodes.
go.
Yeah, Rhodes trying to move forward after having come back down for a second tour of the pit box, just inside the top 20 now. It's the World of Westgate 200 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Sheldon Creed continuing to lead the way. Took the lead from his teammate Brett Moffitt on lap 2 and has been out front ever since. 7 laps left here in stage 1.
Kurt, what's your experience tell you how this track will change as the sun sets and the track temperature goes down from that blistering 102 they were at when we started? How do you adjust your truck if you're Sheldon Creed out there kicking everybody's tail? You come to pit road, do you make an adjustment?
Well, last year was the first playoff race for the Cup cars in Vegas, and racing at night, racing day going to night, tracks always loosen up. And Vegas, to me, loosens up even more so because of the dramatic temperature change. But these truckers, they've been going out to Vegas for many years. Their notebooks are actually thicker than the Cup guys.
What about this truck, Vince? 99. Now, I want you just to make a note. Ben Rhodes pitted, and he got some tires, and he got his fuel. And look, he's already charged back inside the top 10. Now, does he stay out during this caution? Now, he might have to come to pit road because of his issues. The smoke has seemed to have gone away, so maybe that problem isn't a huge factor. But this truck is fast, and he is running through the field.
Yeah, he restarted 19th, and he's already picked off 10 spots to get inside the top 10. He's at 9th. How about it, Alan? Is the concern still there?
Hey, it's still a bit of a mystery for the team, guys, because they were all prepared. Matt Noyce, the crew chief, came over the radio and said, start laying out parts so we can change the transmission, just in case that was the issue. But now we've seen how he's taken off. They're not sure exactly what the issue is, but it's running well right now.
Yeah, just went past Tyler Ankrum for the 8th spot.
Wow, that in-car is great. You see him digging on the wheel. He's going the bottom side of 2, and then his eyes shoot up to the right. Am I clear? Am I clear? I'm trying to get clear right now.
And there he is,
there
clear. Goes around Ankrum. But Kurt, I think that was just, like you said, such a great shot. We talk about how you rely on your spotters. He wasn't relying on his spotter. He was listening to his spotter, but he's also making sure he was looking right and driving left.
A spotter's an audio aid. I wrecked a car at the Daytona 500 one time, hoping and praying I was clear, and the spotter said, clear, go to the hole. So I went to the hole, I wrecked. As the driver, you're responsible for your vehicle. So that's how you execute a solid, smooth pass, is you do it visually and you listen audio-wise through your spotter.
Of course, Ben Rhodes will never forget this place, Las Vegas, his first career win in the Truck Series. Got that back in 2017. And you see, since the restart, he has been on the move. That 99 truck is rolling smoothly tonight.
That's impressive. Pick up that many spots, plus coming back in for a second time. So
this is another truck that is moving too, just picking off spot after spot. Derek Kraus in that 19, driving for Bill McAnally, who's got a lot of Vegas history. What a great owner he is. Won the K&N championship with Brendan Gaughan, multiple truck wins.
Winston West.
I finished second at Darlington just a few weeks ago.
Nearly won Darlington, did this kid.
Sheldon Creed, a 3-time winner this season, and he is in his own zip code right now. Almost a 4-second advantage for Creed as he's going to bring it around and win stage 1. His 6th stage win of the season ties him for the most stage wins of the 2020 campaign. Came into this race second in the playoff standings behind his teammate Brett Moffitt, and Moffitt finishes runner-up in stage 1. Sheldon Creed, the 22-year-old from Alpine, California, stage 1 winner at Vegas. Hey, check it out tomorrow. Going to start your Saturday strong with a huge college football doubleheader on Fox. First, it's Oklahoma looking to avenge last year's loss to Kansas State. It's the big noon game of the week. And then the Longhorns of Texas take on the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. Only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. So glad to have college football back in the NFL on Sundays. Hope you're enjoying it. Of course, playoff time in the racing world, and Sheldon Creed has won Stage 1 here tonight. The first of 3 races at Las Vegas Motor Speedway this weekend, with the Xfinity Series and the Cup guys to follow. Kurt, we wish you the best on Sunday.
Well, thank you very much. I think that was a statement stage for Sheldon Creed. Right?
You think?
He was on fire.
See how this plays out. We know these boys are all pitting.
We had some takers on the competition caution at lap 10, but Creed was not one of them. So he's making, along with many of the others, making their first stops of the night, and we'll send it down to Alan.
And we'll start on the top of your screen. Grant Infinger, they started this race hitting the splitter, the front of that truck, hitting the track far too much. It's improved a little bit, he said, but they're going to make an adjustment in 4 tires. The middle of your screen, the leader, Sheldon Creed, he got that playoff point, running great, but says going into 1 and 2, there's bumps, and he can't get over them. They got to make a big adjustment to work on the tightness there. On the bottom of your screen, Brett Moffitt, he described his truck at times as a 4-wheel slide, so a big adjustment for the 23 truck, trying to get out of the pits from first.
Nice stop by Creed's crew there, but looks like maybe a great.
Yeah, they come off the way they went on, Creed and Moffitt.
Nice.
We take a look at our race-off pit road, sponsored by the World of Westgate.
Nice stop by X's team, Vince.
Infinger and Zane Smith's teams lost a couple of spots. Pits could be a key tonight. The Gander Trucks playoff race number 2. This one at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and many of the drivers this weekend Above the driver's side window net area, you'll see the name of a cancer warrior, someone who's fought it or is currently fighting, or maybe even a medical provider, with all the proceeds from the opportunity to put that name above the window going to the Martin Truex Jr. Foundation. And Sherry Pollock's name is above the window net of the two on one of those sides. Sherry Strong, and certainly Sherry is such a key contributor and driving force behind the Martin Truex Jr. Foundation and all they do for those in the cancer world. Todd Gilliland with his grandmothers, his mom's mom and his dad's mom on each, represented on each side. So thankful for everything that Martin and Sherry do for all those that are out there fighting or have been fighting. And we certainly know someone, all of us have been touched by cancer in some way.
And I'm always touched by Sherry Pollock's heart and the catwalk for a cause, all she does. Her and Martin, they're a wonderful couple and big givers to the cause, and really thankful for them.
Actually, a friend of mine in Las Vegas, Steve Farmer, was at an event where Sherry spoke and was very inspirational to him, and he paid and donated over $2,000 for his father, Mr. Farmer, to be on my car on Sunday.
Nice.
So a solid Vegas connection riding around the track with me.
Yeah, I love that. My cousin Shelley, her husband Chris Sample, is currently in the midst of a fight. So we certainly are thinking about all of you out there that are dealing with that right now, and there's a lot to deal with, and to have that on your plate too is quite a challenge. We're thinking about you, wishing you the best. Well, we talked earlier about Travis Pastrana and Connor Daly, and Connor in that 42 truck, 7-time Indy 500 starter. I know his mom Beth is at home watching, probably biting her nails and pacing up and down the floor.
Well, so far, Connor's gotten the better of Travis, and Travis had an extra pit stop there, Vince. They did a bit of adjusting on the right rear, but I'm most impressed with both of them are still on the lead lap. So they're running competitive lap times, and it's going to be fun to follow their battle to the checker and see who wins that dollar bill in a frame.
We've also been following the travails of the 99. Seems like maybe they've got a little bit of an issue with oil leak, possibly.
I need to keep my momentum up as much as I can.
Yeah, don't worry about that stuff, man. I know it's aggravating, not very noticeable. When you get rolling, buddy, you're fast, man. Smart moves right now. If anything happens, it happens, but we'll make the best of it until then.
How disconcerting is that for a driver, though?
I mean, to me, Rhodes is kind of fired up, right? And he's thinking that his truck isn't at optimum speed, but he charged up and passed 27 trucks in that first stage to salvage some stage points. So it's tough. You got to relax a little bit. It's the playoffs. He's kind of fired up.
Sheldon Creed and Christian Eckes on the front row to get things going here in stage 2.
Nice push there on the bottom. Eckes made sure he stayed on that white line. Rose decided instead of passing, he was going to push.
Eckes had a great run here in the spring. His boss Kyle Busch won the race, dominated it, but Eckes was second in stage 1 and second in stage 2. He and Kyle were the class of the field in the spring, and eventually Eckes had a tire rub and ended up getting into an accident. Didn't have the finishing result to show for it, but I know they were very excited about coming back here and having a shot to contend tonight.
And he's doing just that. Look at that big move by Zane Smith to the bottom. Great pass.
Man, 3 wide down to the bottom. Zane Smith power move, and he is going to be clear off turn 2.
I mean, he looked like he had a different gear there, didn't he?
Well, that's what the draft does at Vegas. If you come through 3 and 4 and you're able to hold it down on the mat and get a good run of momentum, and then 2 guys are side by side drafting, you're sitting there just chomping at the bit. I'm going to get these guys.
Wasn't it at Charlotte where Kyle Busch watched Zane Smith pass him and say, hey, he's doing things in his truck I can't do? That's quite a compliment for that young racer. Looks like we got some problem with the 3 truck of Jordan Anderson. That's his puppy dog on the side of it.
Bringing it to pit road.
Swerving around like he's looking for fuel. It might be a fuel pickup issue.
The puppy dog is a great shot of that. He's got a flat right rear, Kurt.
Yeah, that's flat. Good eye, Mikey.
There's his dog, and the dog was sitting on the shop floor looking at itself, Vince. It was really cool as they promoted First Made, his sponsor this weekend. Darn, that's a shame to have a flat tire.
See some great racing a little deeper in the pack. The 15 truck of Tanner Gray, third place last week at Bristol, matching his career best. Had a good run here in the spring when they ran in February. Brought it home top 10.
Looks like Sauter's got his truck running a little better. He had fallen back in that first stage, but that was just a pass for a top 10 spot. So let's bring it down to Alan on the 23 and give us an update.
Yeah, Kurt, well, a big worry in that first stage was how would the tires look, especially those left fronts. You're looking at it now. The left front on the 23 truck of Brett Moffitt, they were one of the only ones I saw on pit road that showed the slightest bit of cording. I checked with the team, and they said, look, it's not what we want. We believe it's going to get better. They made a big wedge adjustment to improve the handling, but it's something to think about as this race goes on.
Yeah, tire wear is always the worst at the beginning of the race because the track in what we call in NASCAR was green. It's fresh, and it just wants to chew up the tires, kind of like a cheese grater, and then it fills in as the race goes on, so tire wear isn't as bad later in the race. So that's going to be the only hopeful saving grace for Moffitt.
Like Gouda cheese?
Whichever cheese you choose.
Cheddar, Parmesan.
What's your preference?
Yeah, whichever one you don't want to cake up too fast there, Mikey.
They've also had a lot of some windstorms out in the Vegas area that have created a lot of dust and dirt blowing on the racetrack. It has been extremely dirty, probably something that you're going to have to deal with all weekend long.
And that's
Xfinity
like
guys tomorrow, and then on Sunday for you, Kurt.
That's more like sandpaper when the dust blows around. And I don't know what grit, you know, like 25 grit, 300 grit. It's definitely a tough place with the sand, the asphalt, and you know, just with the summer heat, everything really hurts the tires out there.
Sheldon Creed continues to lead. Man, it's been feast or famine for this guy. The last 8 races, only 2 top 10s. But those top 10s were wins. He's staring at another one today. It's a GMS party in Las Vegas. Sheldon Creed leading the way, and then this combo battling for second. Brett Moffitt in the 23 and Zane Smith right behind him in the 21. Drop back just a bit to the 19 of Derek Kraus, keeping a close eye on those ahead of him. Kraus, the only one in the top 7 that's not a playoff driver, and he runs 4th.
There you see that 19 truck. Derek all tucked in there. kid out of Wisconsin's done a great job of showing that he has the ability behind the wheel to go win these races. Just a matter of time.
You know, just missed the playoffs, was 13 points outside looking in when the regular season came to an end.
I would say more like just a couple of corners away from making the playoffs. He was leading at Darlington and just couldn't hold on to that lead late.
Nice run from Christian Eckes again tonight. Vegas has been a good track for him, and in general for Kyle Busch Motorsports. You see the 49 of Cicerelli waving his hand as though he's might have an issue, headed to pit lane, I believe.
What about Ben Rhodes? That thing smokes under caution, and then it clears up when they go green flag racing. Kurt, that's a little bit above my pay grade. What could that be?
I have no idea. I'm confused by it, but I hear Alan's got some news down on pit road. Let's go to Alan.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it's still making speed right now, the 99. He's even trying to pass Christian Eckes there in the 18 truck, but I just asked his crew chief, Matt Noyce, who says they are still worried. They believe the motor is just slowly blowing up, but still, you could see him performing right now. It's a mystery, guys.
See, I used to hear about stories of Dick Trickle smoking cigarettes under caution, and you would have smoke. And then when they would be ready to go to green, a cigarette butt would come out. I don't think that's happening here in 2010, but they are door to door and battling side by side into turn one. Rhodes wants this spot. Is Eckes going to give it to him? No. This is going to be a good battle down the back straightaway. Nice little side draft.
Man, it's so hard to hang onto the truck on the bottom, Vince. That air just wants to spin you right around the void of it on the side, but Ben Rhodes is certainly, he wants that spot bad.
Eckes giving him hardly any room on the bottom. And now Rhodes will have a little bit more of a side draft here until about the start-finish line, and then it'll switch back over because of the positioning of the trucks, and Eckes will now have the momentum going into the corner. Rhodes will try to just jump up there and just close the door.
And he does just that. Great move. You called it, Kurt. That's exactly how that went down. He used that air to just jump ahead of that 18 truck.
I don't know if he closed it. He kind of shut it hard, looked firm. I want this spot. I'm out of here.
What about Johnny Sauter?
How about Sauter in that 13 truck coming up on Eckes now? Sauter, the only one of the 4 ThorSport drivers that did not make the playoffs, and boy, I wouldn't have taken that bet at the beginning of the season. Former series champion. He's had one of those years. It's been 2020 for him. Like most of us want to just get through 2020 and forget about it. That's been the case for Sauter.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him win this race, though, Vince. That's the kind of competitor Johnny Sauter is. He's going to give you all he's got.
Yeah, he's actually gained the most spots since the last restart. He's gained 9 spots, and it's on the move right now for Sauter. This guy right here, though, is making it look simple.
3 points. I mean, almost a 4-second lead.
That's what he did in stage 1 as well.
Truck is dialed. I mean, we've got an in-truck camera with him, and I've been watching, and he's just got that steady wheel. You don't see anything happening in there. That's when you have a nice smooth day going. You're kind of in that zone.
Zane Smith has gotten around Brett Moffitt for the 2nd spot. Well, Smith has just burst onto the scene. Of course, if you really follow the sport, you knew of Zane Smith before this year, but he won his 12th start in the Truck Series, and then he came back a couple of races later and did it again, just to show you that, prove to you the first one wasn't lucky.
Yeah.
He did it again. Won at, of course, the first race at Michigan, and then came back and did it at Dover.
I talked to Dale Jr. about this young racer, and he said he's the real deal. He's very focused on his career and very talented behind the steering wheel. And you can see he's not just out for a Friday night ride. That thing's bobbing and weaving, and he's got the gas down.
And he has gotten the attention of those in the sport, that's for sure.
Creed, wow.
Yeah, Sheldon Creed's not even in the picture frame. He's so far ahead of Zane Smith.
Not only are Creed's arms wide open, his foot is wide open on that gas pedal. He's driving away.
You've got the 26 of Tyler Ankrum. Alan, what's going on with Ankrum back in 16th?
Yeah, the worst of the playoff drivers right now. Things going the wrong direction. Listen.
I don't care if it's track bar. I don't care if it's wedge. Tighten this thing up.
I didn't want to jump ahead of that radio.
You heard him a little tight out there on the radio.
Good pickup there, Alan. He looks sideways. He is tiptoeing around there. in death mode, right, Mikey?
It's just that when you could hear it in his voice how desperate he is, and he wants to go, but he knows he just got to survive for another couple of laps so they can get that adjustment. That sounded like a 10 out of 10 loose to me, Vince.
Yeah, he started this race tonight 5th in the playoff standings, and he has lost a couple of positions. And they got a big change coming ahead here at the end of stage 2 here with just 1 lap left on the final lap for Sheldon Creed.
Clay Greenfield there in the Rockley Roofing number 68. Going to stay on that. Looks like Creed just said, well, you know, I'm not going to push it here. I'm just going to make it to the stage, get my 2nd stage win tonight. Go ahead there, Rockley Roofing. Get on around the track and stay on that lap.
Yep, Sheldon Creed, stage 2 winner. He's swept them so far tonight, stage 1 and stage 2. You followers of the Gander trucks, remember he did that at Pocono as well, but ended up 3rd that day. The playoff drivers trying to stay in the mix, keeping their eye on the championship in Vegas. Mike, isn't that the room you stay in right there? The one right there on the...
Yeah, I sent you a picture last time, Vince, of that beautiful fountain there.
Wow.
What a sight that is.
Man, that's beautiful, isn't it?
You guys
pictures.
wonder why drivers from Vegas are part-time crazy. We grew up with all that. We think that's normal.
Part-time?
Love that town.
What about GMS owner Maury Gallagher? Vegas guy. And they are getting it done. I think that Creed's points tonight, obviously that's huge, but look down to 5th, Ben Rhodes. We don't know when that ticking time bomb might blow up. And to gain those kind of points, you see there's a good shot of Ben. The way he's been able to tune on that truck and be in a position to get those stage points, that could be key if he runs out of oil. And the way it's smoking, that doesn't look like it's out of the realm of possibilities.
Coming down to pit road again here at the end of stage 2. Well, you want to make sure you don't have any mishaps here or miscues on pit road. Alan?
Yeah, the 21 is Zane Smith. It was interesting on the radio. He says he can't do what Sheldon Creed can do when they go into turns 1 and 2. So they're going to make an adjustment for the 21 ride. In the middle of your screen, the leader, Sheldon Creed. He says he gets looser as the run goes on. So they're just going to make a slight adjustment to the right front tire in terms of air pressure to make that a little better. In the bottom of your screen, Brett Moffitt came over the radio and said, I am wrecking in every corner, still running well out there, but they're going to make an adjustment and actually put tape on the front of the grill to give it a little better handling, guys.
There you see, Vince, the crew member jumped over there and put a little tape on it. He's going to retain his 3rd position. So hopefully the adjustments will get Brett right, because nobody is in Creed's zip code.
They'll get one more shot at it. There would be one more pit stop for these drivers and teams, but you got to make up some ground right here. Get yourself in position to score a good result. Connor Daly doing a good job in his first ever truck start, Mike.
Let's see if we can get a word with Connor. Hello, Connor Daly. It's Michael Waltrip and the Fox Sports guys. Do you copy?
I do. It's a pleasure to be having this conversation.
The pleasure is all ours. We've just been in awe of how you've been able to adapt to this truck. I'm sure it feels a little bit like an Indy car, right?
Yeah, super similar. All race cars do the same thing. They go fast, they stop, and they turn left and right. So you just got to minimize the time they're slowing down. And I mean, this is a lot of fun, but it's very difficult. I mean, I give a lot of credit to these drivers and teams. You know, it's a tough aerodynamic platform to understand, at yaw. So it's fun, though. I just want to try and stay in it here and keep battling with these guys.
Well, your buddy Travis Pastrana just got the free pass. He's back on the lead lap. He's got some good pace, so this bet is going to go down to the very end. Travis is on pit road, though, right now, getting some adjustments. How do you think you're stacking up against him? You going to be able to hold him off?
It looks like he just needs to adjust his right foot a little bit. He's getting a little aggressive there into the corner, but I also have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'm glad that we're ahead of Travis so far. We just got to stay in the fight. That's what it's all about tonight. Stay in the fight, make it to the end.
All right, Connor, thanks for your time. Vince Welch says he appreciates all the insights you've given him to get ready to go racing tonight. Hope you can finish off in a strong way.
Good stuff from Connor, and good to see Fatheads on the truck for Connor. Longtime Connor Daly sponsor, sunglasses company, big in the racing world. Sunday, we've got a huge doubleheader here on Fox. First, the Bears taking on the Falcons. How about your Bears, Kurt? 2-0 for the first time since 2013.
They're a sharp 2-0 team, a little bit better than the Bills that are 2-0.
Cowboys look to keep it going after that miracle comeback against Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. America's Game of the Week, Cowboys and the Seahawks. Check the local listings for the games in your area. I know a lot of folks in my ear are very excited about the Rams and the Bills on Sunday.
You have a lot of people in your ears too?
Yeah, voices in our head.
Yeah.
You have those?
Kurt, I thought that was just a race car driver thing, but evidently other people have issues.
It's
No, we've got issues.
Every time I come into this area, coming through the headset even more so. It's awesome. Here we are. We got stage 3 brewing up, and these boys can't make it to the end on fuel. So there's definitely going to be one more pit stop sequence, and it's a matter of, are you just going to top off with fuel? When does the yellow come out? And do you want tires? We'll see how this plays out. I'm really excited about what this run will be, to see if anybody's got anything for Sheldon Creed right now.
Yeah, Creed has dominated this race tonight. He has led all but the first lap. It has been lights out from that 2 camp.
Yeah, and he wins by 4.5 seconds. I mean, he just drives away from everybody. Brett Moffitt said he couldn't drive his truck. He's up on that front row, or excuse me, yeah, he's down on the inside on the front row. Will he be able to hang with Creed in this final stage? The track is changing, temperatures are cooling off. We've made adjustments. Brett is an experienced guy. Can he ask for the right adjustments where he can hang with his teammate?
They're going 4 wide back there.
Wow.
Put it in there. Crafton clears them. Wow. It's easy to pick out that big yellow bright truck, but all these guys, Duke and Hart, is going to be great. Down into turn 3 wide with Gilliland on the bottom. Zane Smith in the middle. That's a guy right there. Smith, he's got to be careful. He's running for points.
And how about Creed getting shuffled back to the 3rd spot? So Sheldon Creed doesn't know what to do with himself back there with no clean space in front of him. He's been the dominant truck tonight. All of a sudden finds himself in 3rd as you ride along with Ben Rhodes, who's still in the mix. Right in front of him is the 88 of Matt Crafton, Alan.
Yeah, and watch for Matt Crafton to be very aggressive right now, because he had to start 14th. He slid through his box during that pit stop. The team had to push him back. They lost a lot of position in the pits. His crew chief said, you better go make this up right now, and that's what he's doing.
What about Creed? He's got that thing up on the high side and able to get beside Moffitt. Can he finish the deal?
He's never had, tonight he hasn't had dirty air on the nose, and so he's now starting to feel his truck out in traffic. He's looking good up top. I don't know if he'll quite clear him here, and he does. He gets that run off of turn 2 and starts to sniff the draft off the 18 truck of Eckes. Let's see what he does here with his momentum through 3 and 4.
Looks like he's just going to drive around him. Wow, what a show of power from that 2 truck.
Eckes has got a mirror full. He's going to put a block on him. He knows what to do. He's been in this position before. Have to see if might have should have run a little higher on corner entry, take some air off of Creed's truck, but might have been wide open through there, Mike. You couldn't quite tell through the bumps.
Didn't hear him come off the throttle much, and you see Eckes anticipating the move to the bottom from Creed, goes low, and it looks like Creed's just going to stay in the throttle and drive up beside him. No.
Couldn't get
That got tight. Killed the momentum from Creed. Creed did a good job there, the lift. I didn't think he was going to lift right there.
I think that opens the door for Moffitt. Yes, he's going to drive to the bottom of Creed, but it's just a matter of time. The way that truck's running, he's going to be able to figure out how to stay wide open and drive around Christian Eckes.
A very patient Creed. At the end of that stage, he kind of just eased off the throttle, let those lap trucks stay on the lead lap, and then that move off turn 4, back out of the gas as he's going for the lead. Maybe it's just because his truck's that good and he's got time to make those decisions, but those are veteran moves out of Creed right now.
Well, I will tell you this, Kurt, we've watched Sheldon since he showed up, and he's one of the perfect examples. Is it's better to try to slow a guy down than speed him up. And that's what we had to do with Sheldon at times in his rookie year. He would just get in over his head. And I remember back to Pocono, he was driving down into the tunnel turn side by side, and I thought in the history of the world, he tries to run wide open here. He let off the gas, gave up the win, but that was a show of maturity. Knew he couldn't make it. He just takes his time now, and you see it there paying off. He's driving to the lead.
Yeah, in fact, passing Christian Eckes with ease there. And much of that maturation, Mike, I think if you talk to the folks around Sheldon Creed, they'll give credit to Josh Wise. Wise has worked with Creed as a driver coach, also works with him physically on his physical conditioning, but also watching tapes with him, driver coach, helping him become a better decision maker, and we're seeing that come to fruition.
Oh, 100%. And Josh Wise, I work with him at Ganassi. He does a great job with all the Chevy guys. We mentioned that on air a couple races back, and that's what a driver has to do in this day and age, especially with no practice, no qualifying, is you have to go to tape, and you need to be talking to driver coaches and people that are involved with the teams to help you make the decisions in your mind before you get to the track.
What about that strong move by Derek Kraus in that Toyota, driving around Christian Eckes? See if Kraus can pace with our 2 leaders, as it looks like the 18 truck has just gotten a little bit loose. He's slipping and sliding and falling back. Next guy to search him down is going to be the 21 of Zane Smith. And there you see another impressive run for Tanner Gray in the 15.
How about it, Alan? Following up that 3rd place finish last week at Bristol, another good show for Tanner Gray.
Yeah, it is, Vince. Remember, he started off this season with some good runs, struggled with some consistency there, but we're seeing performance out of that 15 truck again. The one he's racing tonight, a brand new truck out of the DGR Crosley stable. Good stuff coming from that team right now.
That was tight,
man.
That lap truck threw those guys for a loop. I'm surprised there was no damage. Those guys made it through there clean, and then Crafton's looking to capitalize on this.
Wow. Tim Vian's got a little more than he bargained for there in that 83.
Those boys adjusted well to that closure rate. That's one of the toughest parts about lap trucks and any series, any lap car, anywhere, is that closure rate from some guys.
How about this group? Zane Smith, Matt Crafton, Tanner Gray, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
That makes a bit more sense. The 83 was just posted for not making minimum speed. Thank you. Move away.
Last time we were on the 1.5-mile track, that was at Kansas. 2nd of the 2 Kansas races. Matt Crafton was the winner at that one. Whoa! Whoa! Evasive driving from Zane Smith. It worked. The Gander RV and Outdoors Truck Series from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Playoff race number 2, the middle race of round 1. And it has been all Sheldon Creed tonight. It has been a dominating performance from the GMS driver, 3-time winner this season.
16 truck there, Vince, of Austin Hill has rallied a bit. Outside the top 10 for much of this race, but now finds himself running in the 7th spot and looking at all this mess. Check it out, Ben Rhodes.
Grant Enfinger in there as well, the 98. We haven't mentioned Enfinger much tonight. One of our championship contenders. As you see, our Xfinity fastest lap, even though Creed has had the dominant truck tonight. Eckes actually has the fastest lap, barely.
Whoa.
Oh, and around goes Rhodes.
Oh, man, he's been struggling all night, whether we knew he was going to have an engine trouble or transmission trouble or not, and he's got way more trouble. Not good.
So we anticipated that Rhodes was going to have an issue because they'd been talking about potential oil leak and the truck being down on power occasionally, and Rhodes was anticipating a mechanical issue, and the team kept saying, just drive it hard, and he was driving it hard.
Well, that all started with Todd Gilliland. His truck got loose down on the bottom and then slid up the road, and you can see the team knows they've got issues, but it started up and he got it in a gear all right. See Gilliland on the bottom of the 38 truck loose, and it just sent, look at all that sparks flying out of there.
There's a lot of cool sparks I've never really seen before, but man, that is definitely way more trouble than what they were radioing about with their engine trouble or tranny trouble. But 38, Todd Gilliland is on the bottom, and then Rhodes kind of just draws up right behind him, and that's what loosened up the 38 a little bit.
Watch the near miss from Enfinger in that 98. Whoa.
Close for a Thor Sport teammate. Changing too many lanes at once, and that's where the track will jump up and bite you. All right, he's looking to the inside. He's looking for that clean air down low. He's like, oh man, it's pushing bad. He slides up, and then now there's the 52 on his outside. So that was about 10 pounds of stuff in a 5-pound bucket right there. There's a lot going on for Rhodes to hang on, and plus all the mechanical trouble. It'd be interesting to see how things shake out here on pit road, on what they got to work on and what's on fire, and got flat tires.
There's fire, like you said, Kurt. Look under there. Give me something. I gotta get it out.
Yep, you see the urgency from the crew members.
We're still confused on what the issue is, on what's creating the lack of power, but fire extinguishers never normally good when you're trying to stay on the lead lap and get points for a playoff run.
And the team talked about almost from the very beginning tonight that they felt like they had an oil leak or some sort of an issue, but it wasn't putting down enough oil to bring out a caution. But there was definitely a little bit of oil in the box when he left, and well, now we see this situation.
Is she still running?
I think it's still on fire. That's what the official's saying now. He said, now you got it. Ben's thinking, man, this has gone from bad to worse. But the truck isn't damaged. Well, that's easy to say from here with all the...
It might still roll and it might clearance the tires, but that is a hot mess brewing right there.
That might be the hottest mess ever.
What do we call next here? Let's get the hammer and dolly out. We haven't talked about that yet.
Hot Mess Express.
Rhodes came into this race 7th in the playoff standings. And this issue has dropped him just below the cut line.
Phew.
Well, the pits are open, and you see, I'm believing everybody's going to be a taker here to get this final pit stop in tonight, Alan.
Yeah, it was a late call for the 19 of Derek Kraus on top of your screen. Remember, he is not a playoff driver. They're talking about maybe an alternate strategy. We'll see what they do here on this pit stop. In the middle of your screen, your leader, Sheldon Creed. He says it's great down in 1 and 2. Doesn't need much help, but he could use a little air pressure adjustment to help him in turns 3 and 4. And on the bottom of your screen, Brett Moffitt, you can see he had some trouble there. Actually had to reverse. He described his truck as evil, bad, 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 just loose everywhere. He wants some air pressure out of the right rear.
Yeah, and spots lost on pit lane for Moffitt, as you heard Alan mention, they had to back up that 23 truck.
Look at all those trucks going by you. Man, it's so hard to stomach. He's had a truck that he hadn't been able to be comfortable in. Said he's been wrecking loose. Now he's going to be back in traffic. That's going to make it worse, Bill.
One of our championship contenders, Ben Rhodes, going for a ride at Vegas.
Vegas style, pack a bag, stay a while, rock and roll the dice, body and soul, paradise.
Hey, coming up tomorrow on Fox, it's Saturday baseball. Christian Yelich and the Brewers taking on the Cardinals. Or maybe you'll get Bryce Harper and the Phillies and the playoff-bound Tampa Bay Rays. It's tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Check the local listings for the game in your area. We're here in Las Vegas. The Gander Trucks, and Sheldon Creed continues to lead. Creed is one of our 4 first-time winners this season. It's been a young group.
Yeah, their average age just around 21 years old. You can see 20.75. Well, they're, as an average, they can't quite party it up in Vegas, but certainly it's been fun to watch these kids burst onto the scene.
Sam Mayer at 17 brought that average down last week at Bristol.
What about that 2 truck of GMS Racing? Maury Gallagher, the owner of this team, Spencer Gallagher, a former driver, has never won at Las Vegas, Vince. As much as they've done for the sport, I love Maury. I'm a big fan of that gentleman and this team. See if they can get this deal closed tonight. What a fast truck the 2 has been.
Great look there at Jeff Stankiewicz, the crew chief for Sheldon Creed. He has given his driver something to work with tonight, that's for sure. Creed and Zane Smith on the front row for this restart, and look at the move on the bottom by Tanner Gray.
That Austin Hill wanted to go
Austin
through
Hill,
wide.
that Gray.
That's the first time we've seen him tonight, pushing hard.
But you know, Kurt, I've been watching all night long. He just keeps getting better and better. Started off outside the top 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1.
There you go, and it's not going to work.
Yeah, with Austin Hill, just keeps chipping away at it.
Yeah, we talked about the fact that Hill and the caution is out, and we've got one stalled at the, I believe, the exit of pit road.
You know what this might do? This might be a free pass for Ben Rhodes.
And Jordan Anderson with more trouble. Second time tonight that he's had an issue. Austin Hill in that 16 truck. We're so used to seeing him in the blue colors, and he's with a different sponsor tonight in the red and black, and that thing was moving on that restart. It looked good.
I just wonder how much of that factor is that the weather's, you know, the track has cooled off. Maybe the adjustments that team has made. Man, they've been so good. Can he close the deal?
The night is done for Jordan Anderson, but we've got a lot left to go in Vegas. Welcome back to Las Vegas, the Gander RV and Outdoors Truck Series. Playoff race number 2. Sam Mayer was the winner last week at Bristol to open up the playoffs. Sheldon Creed has been the dominant driver tonight, and you see our World of Westgate 200 race summary. Not many leaders or lead changes because Creed has dominated 86 of the 92 laps. He has been out front. Check in with Alan.
He has dominated, Vince, so it's only natural to ask, what do you do when you're already dominating a race and need to close it out? I'm with his crew chief, Jeff Stankiewicz. What's the biggest challenge to getting the checkered flag tonight from this point?
Right now, if we can just get back out in the lead, maintain it, hopefully there's another caution doesn't come out again. You know, if the caution comes out late in this run, most people have another set of tires. Tires seem to be worth a little bit, so it'll just be making that decision on what you're going to do at that point. But Sheldon's done an amazing job all night, very patient. Truck's been good, a little free over the bumps. His restarts haven't been going good for about the first half a lap, so hopefully we can get a good restart here, get back out front, get that clean air, finish it off. We can make it on fuel from here, so I really like to get a win from Maury Gallagher at his home track, so hopefully we can pull it off and execute and be done with it.
Let's see what Sheldon Creed does on this restart.
Yeah, he wants to get a victory for Maury Gallagher too.
Yep. So you're the only one. But the crew chief though is nervous, right? He's got a fast truck, and he knows if they can just get out front and it stays green, he's probably not going to get caught. But there's so much other that's going to come into play. Another caution's going to create a lot of decisions.
You could tell in his voice, he's like, man, I'd really like for this thing to go green. That makes everything a little bit simpler. We're with you. We're with you. We want you guys to have a nice, smooth win, but you got to be able to be ready for anything in this day and age with restarts and yellows coming out and the draft, high lane, low lane, choose rule. There is a laundry list of things that drivers have to go through under each caution and each stage of the race. It's busier and busier every year.
And all of a sudden, that 16 truck you see there just inside of Sheldon Creed, Austin Hill has become a player. I told Scott Zipadelli before the race, his crew chief, I said, it's a nice looking truck. And he said, I hope it runs as well as it looks. It took him a while to get going, but it seems like maybe it's come to him a little bit.
100%, and that could have the weather or the temperature playing into his hands a bit, Vince. You can see he's going to choose the low side, going to try to make it work on the bottom. A lot of times the guy running second just lined up behind the leader. I like this decision. I think Austin Hill's got something he can go race Sheldon Creed with now that he's there.
And what I saw there was a Chevy-Toyota split. It could have been where there was 2 Chevys to the outside and 2 Toyotas to the inside. But everybody, they're kind of just running independent, running for themselves right now, trying to position themselves for the best spot.
There's Wiener Schnitzel on the back of that truck, and Connor Daly right now has the base in the top 20 on the lead lap. He's got a few spots on his buddy Travis Pastrana. There's Travis.
A couple of good-looking race trucks.
They look fast, don't they?
Connor told me today, he said, run all of the laps. He said, I just want to run all the laps, and he said, if I can stay on the lead lap, run all the laps, it's going to be a great learning experience, and I think that's going to be a win for them, and he's done a great job so far.
I've been impressed with both of them. They don't race very often, and Connor's never driven a truck. Travis has done a nice job as well in that 45, so great job by both these guys.
Yeah, anytime you jump into something you've never done before, it reminds me a little bit of when I ran the Indy 500 a few years ago, and I got to halfway and I said, all right, I'm done learning. Now I'm going to pour in all this experience and go for it. It's time, boys. Show me something, Daly. Show me something, Pastrana. Come on now. You're going to do better in P20 and P24. Let's go.
See, that's going to get him in big trouble right there, that attitude.
Gas it up.
I love what Kurt said. I had 250 miles of IndyCar experience. I was ready to go.
That's it. That's all I need. There we go, boy. Friesen looking to plug it in the middle. The middle's a vulnerable spot for fender rubs. I've been there.
Eckes gave Creed a nice shove, and now Eckes is going to run the top and see if that works for him with just under 40 to go.
Wow. And they're going to be 4 wide.
Wow, we got lanes of traffic everywhere.
Look at the spots that Creed is losing. He's going to be all the way outside the top 10.
Swallowed up huge just because of that one move in turn 1.
Well, you heard crew chief Jeff Stankiewicz say that they feel like the restarts have been a little bit of an issue for him tonight. And right there, Creed slips all the way back to the 7th spot.
He's got to be patient to work his way back up. We got Enfinger. We haven't talked about him all night. And then, boom, shows up right when it's go time. He's running P3, looking on the inside of Friesen. It's going to be tough to clear him down there.
Whoa. Scrubbing the wall was Derek Kraus off turn 2. I don't think it was enough to cause a lot of damage, but you certainly don't want to lose any aerodynamics. You can see how dicey these trucks are when they've got their fenders all pointed in the right direction.
And here comes Sheldon Creed. He's got somewhere to go with all that speed. He's getting ready to pass Infinger for third.
Truck is fast. Driver's zoned in. He wants that lead back fast.
Driver's mad. He didn't do a very good job on the restart. We heard Jeff Stankwitz talk about the fact that they hadn't restarted well. That was a great example of it, but what a recovery.
We got 2 trucks up ahead of them that might have more of that short run speed, right, Mikey, where the trucks are a bit more on the tighter side, and then that'll fade, and Creed's going to just try to reel these boys in as fast as he can. 3 wide back here.
Look at the scuffed up side of the 19. How about 4 wide? I'll take your 3 wide and make it 4, Kurt.
May as well.
And what about Tyler Hill there in the 56? And Kraus gathers it up. Wow.
What a save.
That was like a Kyle Busch save right there. Wow. I'll give it a scale 1 to 10. I give it a 6. That was pretty good.
What about Connor Daylor? He had his eyeballs full there, didn't he?
That's great. You got that view.
Connor inside the top 20, and just ahead of him, Ryan Truex and Dylan Lupton.
There's a Kyle Busch Motorsports battle. Chandler Smith down on the bottom, racing against Christian Eckes. And here comes Brett Moffitt back to 12th on the restart. Can he move up through? Watch this save. And Kurt, watch the front tires. This kid starts correcting it, putting the wheels back the right direction before he ever gets going the right direction. You can see that move right there.
That was sweet driving on the wheel, and I think the left front fender might have dug into the door of the truck underneath him, and he caught that as well. That was a spot what you call a no zone. You don't want to be in there. That's like dead air when you're 4 wide like that.
Moffitt and Johnny Sauter. Moffitt in the 23, Sauter in the 13. They're just inside the top 10, running 8th and 9th. Zane Smith just ahead of them. Tanner Gray behind them.
You can't hide anywhere, can you, in a truck race? We've got battles. This was for second. Creed running around freezing, and it's going to set his sights on Austin Hill. And then if you're back in 10th or 12th, you still got them 2 and 3 wide.
These boys are doing great. I mean, they're wheeling the heck out of it. They're sideways. A little bit of damage here.
Wow, that's a shame. What a great run, and what a great job that kid's done this year. Nearly won Darlington. Was so close. Now he's got a tire issue.
Sheldon Creed now with his sights set on Austin Hill after passing Stuart Friesen for 2nd. Tanner Gray working on Johnny Sauter for 9th. Well, another strong run for Tanner Gray again tonight. So impressed with his progression.
He's looking for more. He's looking to pass Moffitt.
That was a heck of a turn for the young man. He's able to get one and up beside another. Now, what's he going to get rewarded for it? Getting past 3 wide on the bottom.
That's what happens when you line up in the draft here at Vegas. Woo, you're 3 wide. Hang on, buddy. You're 3 wide. Leave room up there. He wanted to kind of get a better arc down into the corner. And it's, it's 3 wide. It's hard to really know your bearings exactly if you haven't been in that position often.
Wow, what a veteran move that was. He hung on to it, and he got them both.
He's got speed in 3 and 4. Now just translate the speed in 1 and 2.
Yeah, that was impressive from Tanner Gray, getting past a couple of former champions and Brett Moffitt and Johnny Sauter. Looking at an extra set of tires for the teams here this weekend, and Stuart Friesen has what he's got, but everybody else has got an extra set. If there's a caution, the crew chiefs will have to make a decision. We talked earlier about this 16 of Austin Hill and the different paint scheme. If you follow the series, normally kind of a blue and white scheme, much different here tonight in Las Vegas, but the sponsor is Wayne's Canada. They're sponsoring him tonight and also tomorrow in the Xfinity Series race. Toyota dealers out of Canada, and they were going to sponsor him at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park earlier this season, but that race, of course, got canceled because of the virus. So they've got their colors on Austin Hill tonight, and Alan, they got to be pretty pleased. They're getting their money's worth with the leader.
Oh, yeah, and look, they came in with a lot of confidence, and it's because of this part of the racetrack right here. Going into 1 and 2, Austin Hill said, there's some bumps down there that our team, our setups, we are just really good at getting over those bumps. That's why we have success here. Remember, they won this race last year. They've taken a little time in this race tonight to come forward as the leader, but they're doing good right now.
Vince, I got to tell you, once he got to the lead and then Creed got to second. I thought maybe Sheldon would be the fastest truck, but the last couple of laps, that guy, Austin Hill, still the fastest on the track.
The regular season champ, already a winner once this season, staring down a second. Welcome back to the World of Westgate 200. From Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Austin Hill is your leader in a race that has been dominated by Sheldon Creed, and Creed is not far behind. He is creeping up and closing the gap on Hill, the regular season champ. You know, it's interesting, Mike, when Hill won here last fall, Ross Chastain won stage 1 and 2, but Hill ended up winning the race. Tonight, Creed has won stage 1 and 2, and Hill is in position to win again.
Yeah, but he was up by a second and a half, Vince, and when Hill crossed that lap traffic, he just had a tough lap or two, and just in 2 laps, he's lost that big lead he has. Let's see what he's saying on the radio. You can see he's diving low to try to break the draft. What's he saying?
He's making a lot of good time on top here. We're going to have to move if we're going to hold him off.
Ooh, I love that advice from spotter Eddie DeHaan. Eddie's up top of the track, Kurt. He's looking down. He says he's making ground up high. You're going to have to move up there. And look where Austin Hill went. Now he's taking that groove away. That's the goal. Great, great spotting by DeHaan.
And that's what you have to do as a racer. You listen to your spotter, you go off the feel of what the truck is giving you, and you have to start moving around late in the race. If your handling's not exactly right, you got to go search and find other lanes. And up top is where the fresher racetrack will be, and that's where tighter trucks will have a little bit better time to be able to maintain the lap time. But Creed's just been able to reel them in through traffic, being able to cut differently when they catch lap trucks.
Good battles all over the racetrack as our Gander RV and Outdoors 20 to go rolls through with Austin Hill, your leader.
You know, and I think of Austin Hill, Vince, I think of a guy that likes to run the bottom. But as soon as he got that advice from his spotter, he's able to move up top and make it work. So that's a very, very nice, versatile move that he made. Alan, what are they saying on the radio down there?
Guys, a great mental chess game going on right now on the radio. They're telling Austin Hill what Sheldon Creed is doing, telling him to move up just a little bit, block his air. And then on Sheldon Creed's radio, they tell him, you know what, go even higher in turns 1 and 2. See what you can do up near the wall. If the 16 goes high, you go higher.
Exactly. That's what you got to do. If there's a game being played in front of you, yes, he's trying to block the dirty air in this lane. I call this lane 3. Above this is lane 4. And right now lane 4 isn't quite cleaned off the way it needs to be. And you don't want to be that first truck up there to slip across the cushion, the rubber buildup, and end up pounding the fence.
You know, the last time we saw Ryan Truex, he was sideways, almost crashed off turn 4. He's made a nice rebound, drove around Brett Moffitt there, put Truex up to the 12th position. Nice run here for this young man.
I like that. He's knocking on the door for a top 10, and it's just his 5th start this year. It's hard to do. It's hard to jump right back in and be competitive, and he's doing a great job tonight.
Yeah, Truex won the pole here back in 2017. Place where he's comfortable and confident. Good to see him back in the truck for Nice Motorsports this week. Less than 20 to go here at Las Vegas. Sheldon Creed chasing Austin Hill for the lead.
There you go.
Ooh, not a good corner for Hill.
That's
got a little
one for Creed.
A little higher than he wanted, I think.
These boys are challenging the edge of the racetrack where all the dust and the rubber buildup gathers.
Boy, good battles all over the place. There's Tanner Gray and Grant Enfinger battling for 5th on the right side of your screen. On the left side is Austin Hill navigating some lap traffic and trying not to lose time to Sheldon Creed.
That's great for Gray. He's got another top 5 run going, and there's Hill. He's starting to come off lane 4. Creed's been up there. Turns 1 and 2, it's much rougher at Las Vegas. 3 and 4 is much smoother, and so it changes the way your truck has a feel for it underneath it.
And
back to the gas hard.
I think I can see that the 16 truck is better in 3 and 4. Hurt. He doesn't like that 1 and 2. He loses ground every time he goes there.
And that's where those bumps in turn 1. If we stay on the inboard truck camera here with Creed, and he's going to end up above the bumps, but right there, that's the roughest spot of the racetrack. And if your truck's good through there, that gives you options to go high, middle, low, where other trucks don't have that option.
I got to tell you, if I'm on Austin Hill's team, I'm proud of my driver. He's moved up the racetrack. He took the groove away from the other competitor that seems to have the dominant truck, and you can hear it work. With that truck of 16 of Hill up high, the front end pushed for our dominant truck tonight, Creed. He can't make it work. Does Creed need to go to the bottom, Kurt?
This is going to be a great battle. I mean, we have 14 to go, and Austin Hill has probably hadn't looked at his windshield in about 10 miles. He is back blocking all the air that he can off of Creed. Creed's getting better runs through 2, but it looks like Austin Hill's getting better runs off of 4.
Sheldon Creed has led 89 laps tonight. Austin Hill has led 25. I mean, it has been Creed's night. He won stage 1, he won stage 2, but he had a bad restart and got back in traffic and has not been able to overtake Austin Hill since he fought through the crowd to get up to that 2nd place position, but he is right there, a blink of an eye away.
Ooh, he took more of a low entry, Creed did, in the number 2 truck, and that hurt the corner exit where he had been better off of turn 2. This is that back and forth on who's taking the air, who's changing what lane, and if one guy slips, mainly Austin Hill, then what does Creed do when he gets there? Is it to the high side? Is it to the low side? I mean, the same distance and this same gap has been there for the last 5 to 10 laps. Very cool. I'm glad the track is racing this way. Sometimes in Vegas you don't see that. The guy just takes off, and now we've got this battle between 2 trucks trying to find all the grip that they can out of any lane and keep the air on the nose as they're knifing through lap traffic.
Don't worry about talking enough, man. You got to fight hard here.
Yeah, that's a driver frustrated. That was Sheldon Creed, who's been dominant. Now he finds himself just can't do what he wants to do. Oh, and he's into the wall.
There it was. That lane 4 is just where all the stuff gathers. You know, if I'm a spotter, which I'm not, it's hard to tell a driver to go find cleaner racetrack, but stay out of the stuff at the same time.
You know, it's interesting. Creed had just given an update on the truck, and the team told him, don't talk to us. Don't worry about talking to us. Just drive that thing and go get him. And then a mistake is made. Is that maybe a break in concentration there?
I mean, he's just trying to relay information, trying to get pumped up, but he just crossed over the line. He got in the fuzz. I mean, that's where all the stuff gathers. I learned the fuzz term from Biffle. Biffle would always be up there putting on Biffle stripes on the right side of his truck. And I'm like, well, what happened? He goes, well, I just got in the fuzz. Let's roll with him down the front straightaway, drafting on Austin Hill. And he's thinking in his mind, I've got to go higher because that's where more fresh racetrack is. High entry into one. Too much, but
didn't waste any time getting back to the gas, though, did he?
Stayed after it. Got to stay in it to win it. But now he's falling back a second off the pace with less than 10 to go. But he's right back up in there because that's where the grip is right now.
Maybe the break that Austin Hill needed, that little extra gap to give Hill enough space to hold on. Is it enough, or can Creed come back and finish the job?
He got a huge run off of turn 2 that lap, and he's getting a better run now because he's further off of the lead truck. He's getting more clean air on his nose, and now when he gets back closer, he's going to get back into that bubble of that dirty air, and it's tougher to get the good lap time, and that's where he needs to try to search through something in traffic maybe to make a big, bold move.
Radio from the 16 team.
Now he hit it pretty good. He didn't kill his truck, though. By no means is he done, so stay on it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Sheldon Creed has rebounded, and he's driven right back up on our leader, Austin Hill.
Yeah, he went from a second down to now less than 0.4 of a second. He is coming again. Good battle for third there on the right-hand side of the screen. Chandler Smith and Tanner Gray.
Again, you get back to that little bubble of air. Can Creed push through it? Can Creed get a run off of 4 and then tie it again through 1 and 2? You got to start to connect corners on the racetrack all the way around.
Man, I believe if I was him, I would just have to try one time, dive into the bottom. Let me get some fresh air on the nose down on the bottom and see if I can do anything to make a move on the 16, because you can see when he gets there, he loses ground.
That was a huge mishap off of 4 with Creed. He just picked up a huge push, but we got Tanner Gray battling with Chandler Smith here.
It's the 4th position at stake. Stuart Friesen just ahead. Man, lap after lap, this 15 truck of Tanner Gray, he finishes that pass.
And he does it on the bottom every time. I mean, it's just, if your truck's working in one spot, keep rolling with it, buddy.
And a shout out to to Stuart Friesen. That 3rd place run tonight, another solid effort for Friesen. That team really struggled through the first half of this season, but they have responded and starting to put together some more consistent runs, and we're seeing more of that tonight from that 52 team. Well done by Friesen. How about some radio from the 2 of Sheldon Creed?
Finally.
The air is so hard. I'm trying here. Just walk right through it, Derek. Don't do it on entry. Focus on giving up a little on entry to get it all on exit.
Even you got to take a chance. You got to take a chance to go down there and see what it's got. It seemed like he lost all his momentum off the corner. It didn't work, but I like seeing the effort.
Creed's tight off of turn 4, top and bottom, but what the crew was trying to tell him was ease in the entry. Don't go to the bottom too soon. Go back to that Truex line that I talked about earlier, where Martin Truex Jr. in the Cup Series, notorious for a mid-entry and then swoop it down to the bottom to give yourself a straighter exit. That's the best turn 4 I've seen out of Creed in a while, but he's going to pay a little bit of a price here. Let's try to gamble, right, with this lap traffic. Let's see what happens here.
3 laps remaining. Austin Hill with some lap traffic ahead of him. The 33 of Awuji, the 42 of Connor Daly just ahead as well.
Daly is 2 spots ahead of his buddy Travis Pastrana, so that's been a great battle in itself tonight. Look at that, down to the bottom, trying to paint that white line, get that nose to stick, not lose the momentum exiting.
Any bobble from Austin Hill and Sheldon Creed is going to be all over him. There's 2 laps remaining, 3 miles left.
Austin Hill has driven a magnificent stage 3. This is execution from a season-long championship run that he's put together. Zipadelli put him in this position, and he has capitalized and not made those little small mistakes to give it back to Creed. He has done a great job.
We got a great shot there of Austin Hill. You could see him looking in his rearview mirror. He spent more time, I think, as you said earlier, Kurt, looking at Creed tonight in these last 25, 30 laps than he has out the front windshield.
This is big. We got white flag for Austin Hill. Great job again.
We got traffic up ahead. Connor Daly, and there's the Hot Mess Express rolling on. 99 of Ben Rhodes still hanging in there. Last time I saw him, Vince, he was on fire.
That is great. It's P23 right now.
What a night for Austin Hill trying to finish the job. He won this race last fall, and he's looking to go back-to-back consecutive wins at Vegas in the fall race. It's Austin Hill, the winner in Las Vegas.
Sometimes when you're just a winner, you're a winner. They did it last year, and they backed it up again this year. Oh, that's great. Connor needed this, right? Needed
a little pyrotechnics under the track.
You need to experience a little mechanical malfunction. There you go, bud.
His wiener schnitzels are going to be toasted.
I told you at the Bristol! Yeah! What did I tell you? You got the anthem!
Wow. That's what it means right there.
Somebody should grab the check from these guys. Make sure they don't go and spend it tonight.
What a great drive to the checkered flag, Vance. You know, just to put himself in that position. Great coaching from his spotter. How important is a spotter in this situation? Put him up top, and when he went up there, the veteran, Austin Hill, knew exactly what to do.
Well, and it's so important for Hill and this team because it secures his position into the next round of the playoffs, into the round of 8. He can go to Talladega for that cutoff race with not a worry in the world, knowing he's going to advance regardless of what happens.
He stumbled at Bristol, right?
Yep.
I mean, that was a struggle. And to put Talladega, Kurt, you know how big of a deal this is for this team. To not have to worry at Talladega, just go there to win the race and know you're into the next round. That's a great feeling.
That is the most playoff pressure you can take off yourself. Winning in a round that has a super speedway in it.
Check out the crew. They got their phones out, taking pictures, videos.
Heck yeah, buddy. Celebrate. That was solid execution, like I was saying, in that final stage. I mean, it took that restart down at the bottom, and then you got that clean air on the nose of the truck, and we thought maybe he was going to be there for the short run. He was there for the long run. He was able to beat the best truck tonight, and Creed, with an awesome chess match of running that high groove and running even higher up towards lane 4 and 5 with the Vegas track coming in perfect.
Well, so sad that the fans aren't there to greet Austin Hill as he took that checkered flag. No fans allowed at the racetrack here this weekend. That's a heartbreaker, I know, for the fans that were intending on going to the race and for the drivers and the crews as well. Nothing they want to do more than perform in front of the fans. But you saw a good one tonight with Austin Hill taking the win, Alan.
What a victory, what a celebration. It's still smoky down here. Austin Hill celebrating with his teammates.
Oh yeah.
One of the first things you mentioned on the radio was Bristol and the bounce back, the adversity you guys overcame. What did we learn about your team tonight getting the win?
Well, the ironic thing is right after Bristol, right when we took the checker flag, I said, hey, let's keep our heads up. We're going to go to Vegas and win it. And heck, we did it, man. We didn't have the best truck tonight, by no means. We had to fight a lot of adversity. Stage 1 and 2, we wasn't good at all. Scott and the guys kept working on it. They got it better and better. Pit crew did a hell of a job on that last pit stop, getting me in the position I needed to, and I just had to go out there and get it, and that's what we did. We got out there. I knew clean air was huge, so just had to get through the gears right and get to the lead, and I knew this Wayne's Canada Toyota Tundra could probably hold off everybody, but Sheldon was definitely way faster than me.
Tell us about that battle, the last 25 laps. Are you looking in your mirror or are you looking out front? What was that like for you?
I was probably looking in my mirror more than I was out front. I just, I knew he was better than we were, and you know, I knew that I was going to have to protect, and that's the first time I've rode the wall all the way around this place. So it was almost a little intimidating for the first 3 or 4 laps when I moved up, but I knew as you know, as I disturbed his air, you know, that it would keep him behind me and he would have to change his lane. And when he went to the bottom and he made a little bit of time, I thought that he might be able to get me because our truck was so tight at the end. There was no way I could run the bottom, but that was a heck of a battle between me and him. I hope all the fans enjoyed it. I wish you guys were here, and we got some really special guests on the truck today. We got Tori and Miss Cindy. Miss Cindy, we're really thinking about her. She's fighting cancer right now, and Tori is Scott's daughter. She passed away a few years ago. So thinking about her, I know this means a lot to Scott. This is a tough time for him. So, just excited to get the job done for him. And thinking about my father-in-law right now, he's really fighting, a lot of adversity, been in and out of the hospital. So a lot going on with my family, and it's nice to get a victory.
A special victory for many reasons. Austin Hill wins in Vegas, guys.
Well, the racing warriors carrying the names of so many cancer warriors, and you'll see that throughout the weekend here at Las Vegas with the drivers in all 3 series. And I know crew chief Scott Zipadelli got to bring joy to his heart to have his daughter's name on the truck that wins tonight here in Las Vegas. An emotional win all the way around. Austin Hill victorious in Las Vegas and securing his way into the round of 8 with that win, guaranteeing that he will advance to the next round. Sheldon Creed hung on, ended up finishing second after winning stage 1 and stage 2, and Brett Moffitt might even feel like this was another one that kind of got away from Moffitt, but he's in good position. Remember, 2 will be eliminated after next week's race at Talladega. But even Todd Gilliland in that final spot, he's not he's not out of the picture by any means. Just 19 points outside the cut line. Anything can happen at Talladega.
Absolutely. It looks like GMS held serve tonight, and the ThorSport truck struggled a little bit. But again, like you said, Talladega, anything can happen. 19 points could be made up pretty darn quick. So this is a good battle all the way around tonight. I was impressed with these boys.
Austin Hill, the winner in Las Vegas.